So when the carburetor is on the motor, one of the first things you can try if it's not idling or if it's running bad is to remove the idle setting screw and the this other screw that's in the housing here, and run some carburetor cleaner and compressed air through. Many times that will clear out any kind of blockage. So I'm going to take this one out. And then this other screw that's in the top of the housing. Okay, so once those are out, you take a little compressed air and brake cleaner. Where's my brake cleaner hose? A little brake cleaner. And here, step back a little bit because I don't get on the camera. But just put a little bit of brake cleaner in both holes, and it'll go right in your face if you're not careful. It doesn't take much. And then put compressed air. Compressed air in both holes. And try that one more time. And oftentimes, just cleaning out those two holes, the passages through will get cleaned out, and it'll make the motor run and idle fine again. So, but if that doesn't work, and you could do that with the carburetor still on the motor, and then just put the two screws back in, and we'll show here in a second when we put the screw back in how the setting. Essentially, when you put this screw back in, you're gonna tighten it all the way down. Come back out 2 1/4 turns, and you'll be at the right setting. So now we're going to take the whole housing off here. And so on the bottom, I've replaced the screws on here. I've got star screws. I think the original comes with just a standard Phillips head screw. But these are stainless screws. I think the original ones were rusting, so I replaced them. Off. Okay, don't lose your screws. Okay, so once we've got it open, you need to remove the main jet opening here. I don't know if I have the right screwdriver. You need a pretty thin screwdriver to get to that one. It just screws out. Drop it in there. And if you open up the choke, you can see the top of that. If you move it just right, you can see the top of a brass fitting in there. If you just kind of hit it with your screwdriver to push it down, it'll drop out, and it looks just like that. And you'll see in the sides of all the way around on the sides, it has little holes. All of that needs to be cleaned out and make sure that it's completely clean. And you look down it, so you can spray all that with carburetor cleaner. And usually I take a piece of wire from a braided wire, like a piece of speaker wire, and you can just go through all those little passages and clean it all out. Same thing with, you'll see on the inside of the carburetor, there's 2 holes there. Same thing, put carburetor cleaner in there, take a little piece of wire, a little brass wire, run it in and out of those holes. Same thing in here, and when you start putting carburetor cleaner in all those holes, and then running compressed air through them, all those passages connect to each other. So if you clean them all out, now oftentimes it's good to let the carburetor cleaner sit in there a while. You don't want carburetor cleaner sitting on plastic parts too long, but all the brake cleaner or carburetor cleaner will eventually get all that crud out of there, and enough compressed air a couple more times will clean it all out. So now we're going to put it all back together. So the first thing we do is put our main jet back in. So the long end, there's a short end and a long end on there. We put that in, put the screw back on top of it. Make sure that this little bolt doesn't come out, or you're going to have to reset all that in there. But so tighten that down. Snug. And then let's put our bottom back on. You'll know that it's on the right way. The hose fits on the same side because everything is on the outside of the engine. So you put that back on, tighten it back up. Done, and then we'll put our screws back in. So the little stubby screw goes in the hole in the front there. It just goes until snug, and then your idle or air adjustment screw will go back in with the spring on it. Tighten it up as much as you can with your fingers, and then go all the way in until it stops, until it's completely stopped. And then back it back out 2 1/4 to 2 1/2 turns. So there's a half, 1, half, 2 1/4. Right about that area. And you're done. You got it all put back together and ready to put back on the boat.